Hi, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'd like to welcome you back to my shack here in the Pacific Northwest. This is Ham Radio Live, a special edition, show number 67. We're going to be doing a show on Grayline. Hopefully, we'll make some calls. Not sure. We'll see. It all depends on how propagation works. Now, for our main audience, which is future hams, folks, we'd love to get on the air. I'm going to show you this image. Now, it's going to come in small. We'll get it bigger for you to help explain, okay? So, Grayline essentially is a very small window each day right before sunrise and sunset where you can make some pretty long calls, okay? The ionosphere, as you see in the top here, will go from about 30 to 200 miles above the Earth's surface. Why does that matter? Well, because our signals bounce from our transmitter, okay, your tower, they don't go straight out, meaning they don't go straight to another tower unless you're on microwave or FM, then they are line of sight. Nope, that works great, but not on HF, on high frequency. Your signals go up and out, bounce off the ionosphere, and then back to Earth. At Grayline, there's a very special time where if you look on the lower photo down here, you'll see the different layers. There's the D layer, the E layer, F1, and F2. Now, F1 and F2 combine at night. The D layer is a very absorbent layer to lower frequencies. That's why 160 and 80 don't work too well during the day for long-distance communication. 40 is right about the break line where you can get through the D layer and get up to the F layer and bounce those signals. So right about 7 megahertz, okay? But at Grayline, the D layer hasn't formed yet because it takes radiation from the sun to charge it up. Our signals go up to the ionosphere. They get charged with the ionospheric particles that are in the atmosphere. Those particles vibrate quickly and they send the signal back down, unless we're in a very nice situation, which is, when we have a tropospheric chord, when we're hitting a ionospheric chord, which is cool, because then the signal just bounces up and down and the ionosphere doesn't hit the ground yet. It can go a long ways. But Grayline is cool. Your signals can go far along the Grayline itself, meaning where it's just about sunrise or sunset in your area, as well as someplace else on the Earth. Okay? That's why it's special. It also works well because signals can go out still because the D layer hasn't formed where you are, and your signal can get through it real easily and make long distance calls. That's why the Grayline time is so special. That's a very good picture of it right there. A little bit hard to read maybe. Sorry about that if it was. Let me show you one more little snippet to show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Daytime, you see, you've got the F layer. Man, that mic is hot. F layer, E layer, D layer. See how the signals bounce? All right. Grayline, look what happens. Okay. Grayline, the F layer combines. Okay. You see where that is? It's right at that point where it peaks. Yeah. You get longer skip. That's the big deal about Grayline. So we're going to do our best to see if we can get some Grayline propagation work. We're going to start on 40. We're going to move to 20. I don't know what we'll get, if we'll get, but we'll try to get some QSOs, okay? Thank you for joining us. Happy November 1st. It is November. We have made it. Man, it is a cold, cold night here in Oregon, below freezing. First time in a while. I've checked this frequency. We'll see if it's still available. This audio, by the way, courtesy of the HRL PRAS system. HRL PRAS, that's Parametric Receive Audio System, is phenomenal. You need it. Christmas is coming. You want a Christmas present. This is an amazing one. Really is. It will make signals sound so much better on sideband. It just brings them to life. And all you really have to do is turn one knob. That's the mid-range. And just a little bit. You just fine tune it. In fact, I've actually found my HRL PRAS to work similar, even better most times, to my digital noise reduction, because it can help to pull out the signal better. That's a pretty cool thing. HRL Sound, find them at HRLsound.com. They can also be found at your ham radio local dealer. They have them, plus the speaker too. Speaker, I think it's called the HPS 10. Great speaker. Two-way speaker in a tuned cabinet. Buy the set, about $4.25, I think it is now, but it is worth every penny. It really is. So the audio you're hearing is coming directly from the HRL. Is this frequency still available? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Now, we're not going to spend much time on 40, because 20 is where we'll probably get a good Grayline skip. Checking frequency availability one last time. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Even the sound of atmospheric noise changes. Listen with just the HRL, just changing through the HRL. Listen to the sound of just the signal, the noise floor. Listen. Here I got real hashy, real loud. All I did was just move the mid-range. Now I'll turn it back down. Didn't touch the audio gain whatsoever. That's the HRL PRAS. It is a box of tricks. CQ, Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilowatt 7 Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ, live on Ham Radio Live, doing a special show on Grayline propagation. This is Kilowatt 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening.
Kilo November 6 Hotel Tango X-Ray.
Is that Kilo November 6 Tango X-Ray?
Kilo 7 Hotel November. This is Kilo November 6 Hotel Tango X-Ray. Good morning.
Good morning. Kilo November 6 Hotel Tango X-Ray. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. My QTH is up here in Oregon, north of you here. We're in Independence, Oregon, about 65 miles southwest of Portland, and you're coming in with a nice signal here. 5.7, peaking at 5.8. Very good signal. My name is Larry, by the way. Lima Alpha Romeo Yankee. We are live on YouTube, streaming live on Ham Radio Live, talking about Grayline propagation. So we're glad to have you on the show. See, the band's going long. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. The band's starting to move on us with Grayline, so I'm going to probably have to give you a 73 here because we are getting a lot of movement in this propagation. I'm sorry, my friend. Kilo November 6 Hotel Tango X-Ray. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'll wait for your final 73. Thank you. I'll send you a copy of the show on your QRZ email.
Okay, well, thank you, Larry. Yeah, I noticed about 40 minutes ago there was much less noise here, so I guess that's come back, and you have a great day. 7-3 from Kilo November 6 Hotel Tango X-Ray. This is Mike in San Diego County.
Mike in San Diego County. See, now you just jumped up to a 5.9. See, I've got a noise floor here of S5. That's huge. S5. My goodness. Mike, you came in real good. Before you leave, I'd love to ask you a question. We ask everybody this on the show that we have a contact with. Now that your signal's coming back, would you like to tell folks that are listening, we do the show to encourage people to go into ham radio? It's all about encouraging people to join our hobby. Would you mind telling the folks just briefly what ham radio means to you, Mike? I think we lost him. Nope. Kilo November 6, Hotel Tango X-Ray, Kilo 7, Hotel November. Yeah, that was to you, my friend. Go ahead, tell us what ham radio means to you, if you would, real briefly, Mike, because we're starting to go long here. You see how the signal changed real quick? Yeah, real quick. Now we got somebody that didn't check frequency. All right, Mike, we've lost your signal. We're going long now. Sorry about that. I'll send you a copy of the show. Kilo November 6, Hotel Tango X-Ray. Kilo 7, Hotel November 73 to you. Anyone else still on frequency? We're live on YouTube's Ham Radio Live, doing a special show on Grayline propagation. This is Kilo 7, Hotel November. Oh, jeez.
And then also we want to take it easy.
So what happened is somebody just jumped about 1 kilohertz up. All right, let's move. It's, you know what? It's always better. Just move. Just move. And the reason I say that is because we're really talking to a lot of future hams or new hams. Sure, we were there. We were able to make contact with Mike. Somebody jumped in. But because it's Grayline, they might not have heard our signal, and then all of a sudden theirs comes in strong, because that's what Grayline does. Let's try and get some contacts real quick. Is this frequency available? This is Kilo 7, Hotel November. This is right about when 20 meters wakes up. And see, the noise floor is right about S5. That's a noisy band right now. Is this frequency available? This is Kilo 7, Hotel November. It might help if we turn the preamp off. Jeez. You see, here's a good example, all right? You can be a ham for a long time. You could have the highest license, whatever. You still make mistakes. So new hams, future hams, we all do it. It's the way it is. Let's go back and try. CQ, 20 meters. This is Kilo 7, Hotel November. Kilo 7, Hotel November. Calling CQ. CQ. Any station, anywhere. This is Kilowatt 7, Hotel November. Kilo 7, Hotel November. Doing a special show on Ham Radio Live right now on YouTube, featuring Grayline propagation. So CQ to you from Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'll be listening. Again, this is right about when 20 wakes up. Go ahead, come back, would you please, station? Sorry, I just missed that. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, station that came back to me. I'm sorry I missed what you said. Could you repeat it, please? Now, this could be a situation where this frequency was in use and they just could not hear us. Grayline can trick you that way. Is this frequency in use? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Is this frequency in use? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. All right. It heard like someone was coming back there for a second, and they might be. Again, Grayline is when things wake up. CQ, any station, anywhere. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Live on Ham Radio Live YouTube. We're live streaming about Grayline propagation. So if you'd like to come back to us, we'd love to talk with you. CQ, Kilo 7 Hotel November. Calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening.
Kilo 7 station, there's a net coming up here.
There we go.
CSY, total ways. The American Foreign Service has been on here for about 40 years, and they'd like to use the frequency.
That's not a problem at all. Didn't realize that. We'll be glad to move. Thanks for letting me know. Kilo 7 Hotel November, QSY.
Thank you very much. You're a gentleman on the star. Go up.
Like I said, we work together. We'll go up to 14,327. And again, this is all about we do work together because there's only so many frequencies available to folks, and we do want to make sure we cooperate. It's just good practice. For new hams, it's good practice. Even if you ask if the frequency is available, you can find out that something either is coming up like that net or something else. Just move. You'll find another frequency, okay? Is this frequency in use? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Is this frequency in use? This is Kilowatt 7 Hotel November. It's a good time. Here's a good time to just turn your preamp up to see the band, because you see all of a sudden signals are appearing. Okay? That's a good time to take a look at it, just to see if you need to. Then you can always turn it back off. That's the preamp. We're going to turn it off. It's going to lower the noise floor and make it easier to use. Usually you want to use your preamps above 20. So 17, 15, 12, 10, 6 works great for them. CQ, any station, anywhere. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Calling CQ. CQ, we are live on YouTube's Ham Radio Live, doing a special show on Grayline propagation. Calling CQ to any station, anywhere. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Calling CQ and listening. Like I've always told you, though, ham radio's like fishing. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But you had a good time at the pond. Let's go again. CQ, any station, anywhere. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Calling CQ. CQ, live on Ham Radio Live on YouTube, talking about Grayline propagation. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening. almost, it's almost like you hear someone there, way out there. Just let me tune a little bit around frequency for just a moment and see if there's maybe a signal there that we don't want to step on. No, I think we're just fine. We should be just fine. CQ, Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ, any station, anywhere. We're live on Ham Radio Live on YouTube, calling CQ during Grayline. Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening. Seasoned hams will come up to 20 right about sunrise. And now also we have a great opportunity to work to the west where it's still dark. CQ, Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ, this is a special edition of Ham Radio Live. We're live streaming now on YouTube doing this show, and we'd love to talk with you. CQ, any station, anywhere. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening. $20 is still pretty quiet, isn't it? All right. We'll be adaptable. We'll go back to 40. 40 is good. We don't want to go down. Now, here's interesting stuff. Remember we talked about shortwave a few shows ago. Here's a shortwave broadcast. See how wide it is. This is very well defined. Here's your center carrier right here. All right. And then you have sidebands. Okay, we've talked about upper and lower sideband. When you're below 10 megahertz, okay, so 9999, which is 9.999 megahertz and lower, you use lower sideband. When you're at 10 megahertz or higher, you use upper sideband. Now, most radios will automatically change once you change to a different band that would require an upper side or a lower sideband change. This, though, really defines not only the carrier, but also the sidebands. Let's take a good look at it. Right here in the center, that white line straight down, that's the carrier. That's the main carrier of that shortwave station. Now, you see the area that's here, okay? To that far left bar, that's a sideband. That is the lower sideband of that carrier, of the signal, okay? So you have the carrier in the center. Remember we talked bologna sandwich, right? You got two pieces of bread, bologna in the center. Bologna is the carrier. The two pieces of bread are the sidebands, okay? Here's your left piece of bread. That's the lower sideband. Here on this side is your upper sideband. That's where that is, okay? Let's take a quick look at it. In fact, what we'll do is we'll tune up to it. We'll change the mode, and we'll go to AM, because this is an AM broadcast. Shortwave is all AM. Let's listen in real quick. This is how they sound.
開催されました。李克強総理によりますと、第14次5カ年計画公用は新しい発展の理念。
Here's a real good time, too. You can hear how the HRL system can change the way it sounds. Listen carefully. I'm right now using 800 hertz of mid-range. I'll move it around all the way to 2.5 kilohertz. Listen to the difference in how the audio sounds.
と未来性、実行可能性を有しているということです。李総理は、この公用は 経済と社会の発展を推進するための具体的な青写真。
Now it's a 2.5. It sounds like we got louder, right? But we didn't. All we did was added more mid-range. That's the beauty of the HRL parametric receive audio system. It can help bring signals in. Now, obviously, this is not in English, but great signal and a good example of how the sidebends are and what they look like. Here's your upper sideband right here, carrier in the center, this line right here to the carrier. That's your upper sideband. You have your carrier here to this end over here. Here's your lower sideband segment. There you go. That's a great example of lower and upper sideband. All right, let's move back down. I'd like to go somewhere where generals can work as well because, it's good to do that. A 9-0. I try to stay away from zeros because typically they're used. It's the first place people go. But we'll try in 2, and we'll see if maybe someone's there. We don't want to step on anybody. So let's try and see if we can make a call real quick. We're getting past sunrise now, but Grayline's still happening. Is this frequency available? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Is this frequency available? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Sounds good. We're clear. Let's try it. CQ, any station, anywhere. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. CQ, any station, anywhere. We're live on Ham Radio Live on YouTube. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening. Bring back the HRL just a little bit. Usually run the HRL with all of the controls straight up and just adjust the mid-range from there, okay? CQ, any station, anywhere. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. CQ. We are live on Ham Radio Live talking about Grayline. We'd love to talk with you. We're calling CQ. Any station, anywhere. This is Kilowatt 7 Hotel November calling CQ and listening. CQ, Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ, live on Ham Radio Live on YouTube, doing a special show on Grayline. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening. Again, turn the preamp off. No need for it. CQ, Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. CQ, from the Pacific Northwest of Oregon and live on Ham Radio Live on YouTube. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilowatt 7 Hotel November, calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening. CQ, this is any station, anywhere, call Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ, live on Ham Radio Live on YouTube. This is Kilowatt 7 Hotel November, Kilo 7 Hotel November, calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening. See how the signal's waking up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See 7 right now. Final CQ. This is CQ. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Calling CQ. CQ. Any station, anywhere. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Live on YouTube's Ham Radio Live. Calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening. All right. Let's take a quick little gander at this signal right there. I'm kind of hearing one side of that one.
Doing fine, thanks. How about you?
Yeah, we're talking amongst ourselves mostly. Not unusual. Yeah. If I didn't know better, I'd throw your antenna pointed north. It's west. Yeah, let's see. Every point is north. You're a little slightly west of me.
Some right there. Now this is a net that's typically on. One thing nice about the 101D and the 101MP is just point and click.
Are they price competitive? Is it worth the price to go to 600 watts?
Now see if we can bring him up with the Heil. A little bit. Which means the station that he's speaking with is going to come in real loud in a second here. So I'm going to turn down the gain just a little bit. Now we have a weak one, if you're watching the mouse pointer, right here. This is a weak signal, okay? We'll click on that. We'll see where that's from. That could be a DX call that's out there. Be nice to make a DX call. Wouldn't be so bad, right? Right here. Not there. Okay. This is an area in my radio where I'm at that I have a lot of RFI. It's just this one little spot. And that's a tuner tuning up. All right, let's just see if we can maybe take a look over here. Perfect.
CQ.
Now we're going to tune. We've got the Kilo Alpha 6. We'll come back to him, have a quick contact, hopefully, close the show. Kilo 7, Hotel November. Good morning.
Kilo 7, Hotel November, WA68QL. Good morning to you. And I hope you had a safe holiday yesterday. It was nice and quiet here. There's not too many kids coming around this place. Anyways, we got a decent enough signal, and it looks like the band is still holding up, but earlier I was talking to a guy in New Mexico and his went flat. So anyways, the name here is Mark Mike Alpha Romeo Charlie, located in Apple Valley, Southern California, high desert. Yeah, let's see, I'll get an S-meter reading on you this time. K7HN, WA6AQL.
Roger, Mike. Thank you so much. I just wanted to verify your call sign. I've got Whiskey Alpha 6 Alpha. Is there anything following the second Alpha?
Whiskey Alpha 6 Alpha, Quebec, Lima, AQL. QSL?
QSL, Mike. Thank you very much. Whiskey Alpha 6 Alpha, Quebec, Lima, Kilo 7 Hotel November. Nice to meet you, Mike. I do a YouTube show called Ham Radio Live to encourage people to come on to the hobby, get their license, get on the air. That's the whole point. You're live on the show right now. I'll make sure and send you a copy on your YouTube, on your email from QRZ. I wanted to, and by the way, you're coming in about a 5'7", peaking at 5'9" here into Independence, Oregon. I'm about 65 miles southwest of Portland. So that's my location. I'd like to ask you a quick question, Mike, if you wouldn't mind. What does ham radio mean to you? Again, our channel is about encouraging people to come into the hobby. So in your time in ham radio, what's it meant to you? You have any stories you could share?
Yeah, K7HN, WA6AQL. The name is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Charlie there. And I've been licensed since 61. I've enjoyed it. I raised my kids, and they used to sit by me all the time at night, and before they went to bed. And I thought one of them eventually would become a ham, but neither did. Hi. My brother, he's K1 GD. He lives in Texas. And he's a ham. We grew up as hams from when we were kids. And nowadays, I've had ham radio through my work and through retirement. And I consider it the best social distancing we can have. You don't have to worry about catching anything through the radio. K7, K10, you are 5 and 9 also, and it's a beautiful day here in Apple Valley. K7A10, WA6AQL.
WA6AQL, K7HN. Thanks, Mark. Roger on that. QSL. Love it. That's great stuff. Man, so you have been a ham now. Was it 1961 you said?
Yes, 1961, both my brother and I got into ham radio and enjoyed the heck out of it.
fantastic. Well, I've got to ask. I mean, because you've been around a long time, and you've been there, done that. I got to ask, what was your first radio?
And ICO 723 and the Helicopter S120 receiver. I had 5 crystals, one of which almost every ham has is a 7.159, and I don't think I have it anymore, but I would love to have the ICO and the helicopters back, just nostalgia purposes. Go ahead.
I love it. Oh, Mark, I love it. That's great stuff. Thanks for sharing. My, oh, my. Ham radio has sure changed an awful lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, I still like the tube stuff. So I've got an S line, and of course I've got the 7800 and the 7610, which I'm operating on right now with you. And I've had many amplifiers, many a radio throughout my career, and I've dabbled in the boat anchors. I've dabbled in the modern day FDR transceivers, and enjoyed the heck out of it. But I'm still nostalgic with the tube radios. Besides the S-Line, I've got 2 fine receivers made by Collins, and that's another thing. My brother worked for Collins for 43 years before he retired. And, so we got Collins in the blood. Hi. K7HN, WA6AQL.
WA6AQL, K7HN, yep, QSL on that. There's something special about tubes, whether it be a radio or an amplifier. Tubes just have a warm sound to them. I really believe that. I mean, you can hear the difference in a solid state amp versus a tube amp. I mean, they just sound warmer. They really do. And I agree. Drake made some great rigs back then. Helicrafters made some great rigs back then. And you have seen huge changes in ham radio since 1961. My goodness. What do you think the biggest change has been that you've seen since you first became a ham way back in 1961?
Well, back then, my brother and I would learn Morse code by reading the signs on the freeway in Morse code. Used to drive my dad nuts. And I think the biggest change is the technology. Even though HF is still the same, you have to have a transmitter, you have to have a receiver. It doesn't matter which one you use, they're all good. You just have to learn how to use it. And the modern day receivers and transceivers, I'm afraid to touch them, to be honest with you, because my technical ability is back in tune. I always said if it didn't have valves and gears and knobs, it wasn't ham radio. Go ahead.
Yep. Yep. You sound like an old timer. That's great. Plus, you also had to learn code, and you had to take the test in front of an FCC examiner. That's quite a bit different than it is today, isn't it?
Yeah. No matter what FCC location you went to, I've talked to many hams over the years. We always had one lady, usually very fit and proper, standing there officiating. And I'll tell you what, the test looked scary compared to that person. I've heard that from a lot of people. And but I miss the fact that we had the FCC officers back then. And even though it was kind of odd going in there and being stared down to make sure you don't cheat, I think it really adds to the atmosphere of ham radio and the remembrances of all the memories persons have. I've never gone to a VP or anything like that, so I don't have any experience with modern testing. I believe my brother has, and you know, like I said, I love ham radio. I think it's the best place to listen to if you want to play that game. And over the years, I've learned a lot. And over the years, I've forgotten a lot. The modern day radios are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm an old tube guy, but the modern day radios are fantastic. They have equalizers and all the bells and whistles in them. And, you know, I can make the radio sound just like a Collins or a Drake or any of those, just in the equalizer. So you can't really knock the new modern radios, and especially the software-defined radios. They have so many features on them. It's an endless toy for boys. K7 HNWA6AQL.
Roger on that. Yeah, QSL, Mark. I agree. There's been a lot of changes for sure. No question about that. WA6AQL, K7HN. Yeah, I think there's a question I want to ask, and I hope it's not too deep. I don't want it to be. But, I want to ask this because you have a ton of experience. I mean, you're almost at 60 years being a ham. If you had some advice for a new ham or someone who wants to get into ham radio, Mark, what would your advice be to them? This would be really important to put on the show today.
Well, one of the pieces of advice I would give the new ham, kids that are coming into ham radio, their brains collect so much information and they're able to keep it. If it happens to be when you're young, get into ham radio. I got into it when I was 9, I think.
Wow.
And I had a brain very receptive back then. And most people still do, but I would say learn the theory from ground up. Don't just go to these classes and memorize the test or however they do it now. Learn the theory. Starting the basics, DC, AC, etc. Learn what the components are, learn what they do, and above all, once you get your license, learn the Morse code. I think the Morse code has kept a solid foundation on my life, some discipline, and a lot of fun. But even though they don't have the code requirement anymore, I think every ham out there, young or old, should learn the Morse code. No matter what, you can always hear the signal over the voice.
Mm-hmm. That's right. WA6AQL K7HN. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Mark. Truly, I started DXing in 1973. I was 10 years old, so that tells you how old I am. I'm a person who's just radio was my first love. I went back to the old days where the ARRL sold LPs, sold records to teach you Morse code. And I have to tell you, man, I kept picking the stylus up off the record over and over again to try and learn the letters and numbers. And for whatever reason, I couldn't do it. Just had a bear of a time with it. So I couldn't get licensed until after the code requirement. So I give you a ton of credit because for me, Morse code was very difficult. For some reason, I just had a hard time with it. I think the younger you are, the better you are at grabbing it. And I do believe with W1AW and other programs out there that can help you, I think that's a really good thing. Thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Any final thoughts you can share with the folks today, Mark? It's been such a pleasure to meet you. My gosh, what a wonderful QSO this has been. WA6AQL K7HN.
Yeah, K7HN, WA6AQL. Oh, I'll tell you what. Second with most subjects. Like I said, my brother and I, we had a neighbor. He was an ex-Navy radio operator. He taught us the Morse code at the beginning. But in reality, the learning came with freeway signs going down the road. See if you get to the Morse code before you pass the sign. Now that was one way that we did it, and it was very successful for us. I do like the ARRL code practice that they have on various frequencies, because they start off at a slow speed, gradually going to higher speed, and that's actually the best way to pick up the receiving of Morse code is to push your mind into copy faster than you know you can. Because you pick up the word group and phrases, you'll recognize the words. You don't have to complete the code part, but you'll just recognize what the word's going to be. The same way with receiving in your head. Back in the day when my kids were raised, I can sit there and carry a conversation on in Morse code and talk to my children at the same time. And I wonder if I would just scratch your head.
Wow.
But it's possible to do that. I guess they call that multitasking now. I've been away from code for a little bit, and I couldn't even begin to do that now. My wife comes in, says something, I lose the conversation on Morse code. So, best way we found to learn the Morse code is through ARRL and also our own sessions. Doing the Morse code with signs you say and finishing it before you have the sign. So I think that made it easy for my brother and I. K7HN, WA6AQL.
WA6AQL K7HN QSL on that. Thank you for sharing. That's a great story. A lot of good knowledge there you shared today. And I want to thank you because this channel exists to encourage people to join our hobby and to hear it from somebody who's almost done it now, literally for 60, is that 60? Yeah, 60 years. Next year, Mark, 60 years for you. My goodness, congratulations. I mean that. Congratulations. I'm going to cut the show short now. We're going to end with this QSO. If you've got an email attached to your QRZ page, I'll make sure and send you a copy. If not, I'll message you privately on QRZ with the show link, okay? I'll wait for your final. I'll give you a 73 here right now, Mark. Whiskey Alpha 6, Alpha Quebec Lima. This is Kilo 7, Hotel November. All the best from the Northwest. Thank you for all you said today. God bless you, man.
K7HN, WA6AQL. Well, thank you very much. And it's been a nice QSO. And they need to get out there and they need to study, but they need to study the basics and work their way in. They can do the 10 radio license, but they need the knowledge. And I used to get it from the Navy books and different things like that that I could pick up online. And I would actually study the subject and try to learn it. Sometimes I learned it, sometimes I didn't. That's just the way it is. I know it helped my career in electrical. I was an electrician for many years and got into automatic after that. And I tell you, the troubleshooting in electronics, you can apply that to electrical also. Electronics are a lot smaller, electrical is a lot bigger, but you understand. You got to have a source, you got to have the in component. Gotta know what's in between. Chemistry, Larry, you have a great day. Best to you and your family, and Happy New Year's coming up. And God bless everybody, and God bless America. Stay 718 WA6AQL.
WA6AQL, that's the best QSO right there. That's right up there at the very top. Seriously, God bless you too, man, and God bless America. Thank you. Thanks for saying that. 73, Mark, thank you again for everything. That was a wealth of knowledge you just dropped. Wow. Whiskey Alpha 6, Alpha Quebec Lima. All the best in respect to you. Kilo 7, Hotel November, clear.
Have a nice day. WA6AQL, clear.
Well, folks, 2 QSOs, but that was a long one with a guy that's almost done this for 60 years. Became licensed at the age of 9 and literally told us his story, gave advice for new hams, people who'd like to be in ham radio. That is priceless. That's priceless help right there. That's like a college course that he just gave. And I'm very honored, grateful, and blessed that he shared that this morning with us all. It's a show about Grayline, and we ended up getting a lesson on ham radio from a real hero, a real legend in ham radio, in Whiskey Alpha 6, Alpha Quebec Lima. Wow. I'm going to show you one more picture real quick before we close, because we are talking about Grayline. Now, we're past it now here. We have passed sunrise by a little ways. Now, I'm going to blow the map up. Now, you'll see things if you're a future ham or a new ham. You will see images that are like this, okay? Notice the area where it's light, okay, where it's, brighter color. That represents where the sun is, okay? The areas that are dark represents where it's night. Now, there's an area that kind of edges around that dark area that's not quite as dark as the dark area. That's Grayline. That's where it is. Now, your signals can travel along that line long ways. For example, if you take a look on the far western edge of Africa, you see it's kind of right there in the gray. And then you take a look at the far southeast part of Australia. That's in the gray too. Your signal can go that far with the right propagation conditions during Grayline. Just does amazing things. So, Grayline, a great tool to learn to use when you're in ham radio. It's a time when you make great calls and can make some special long calls, but it's also a time that you get to meet some fantastic people like we met today with Mark. And also, we got to thank too as well. Started the show off with him. That was Kilo November 6, Hotel Tango X-Ray. That was Mike. Mike, thanks for being on the show, as well as Whiskey Alpha 6, Alpha Quebec Lima. That's Mark in California. To both of you, thank you for adding a lot of knowledge and a lot of help for some folks in the future that would like to be in ham radio. All right, folks, we'll see you tomorrow on the show. Until then, I'd like you guys to have a wonderful Sunday. Take care, be safe, be well, and be blessed. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day.